My daughter scored 1570 points on the SAT. That day, my husband took her to the water park. Later in the evening, she called me at work. She said my husband had received a call from a woman on their way home and dropped her off at a highway intersection. I told her to get off the highway quickly, but as soon as I finished speaking, I heard a loud crash. My daughter had been hit by a truck. At the hospital, the doctor said she had suffered a severe head injury and only Dr. Stewart, the vice president of Center Hospital, could perform the surgery. Dr. Stewart is my husband. After dozens of calls, he finally answered. Our daughter has been in a car accident. Please come and save her, I pleaded. Are you crazy? You made up a car accident just to get me back, he scolded. Aiden, come here quickly. I heard the voice of his first love, Maria, on the other end of the call. He hung up. When I called again, his phone was off. Chapter 1. As I kept calling, my daughter's vital signs dropped rapidly. The attending doctor rushed into the ICU with 2 nurses. Half an hour later, he came out. Doctor, how is my daughter? I sobbed, and my whole body shook. She needs surgery immediately, or she won't make it. Is Dr. Stewart the only one who can perform this surgery?
Yes.
Your daughter suffered a severe head injury. Dr. Stewart is the only one in the city who has successfully performed this surgery. Can we transfer her to another city? She won't survive the transfer. Dr. Stewart must perform the surgery. Go find him at Center Hospital. Aiden was on vacation and had turned off his phone. He was with Maria, but I didn't have her contact information. Suddenly, I remembered seeing her short video account recently. I opened it and found her account. I wanted to ask her privately, but she had just released a video. The video was filmed at a hospital, and the caption was, "When I was most helpless, you always showed up first. Thank you for letting me lean on you." The video attached a location at Harborview Hospital. I drove to Harborview. After 3 hours, I arrived at Harborview Hospital at 8:30 in the morning. I saw Aiden and Maria sitting on a bench. Maria leaned on Aiden's shoulder. Aiden, my daughter will be okay, right? Don't worry, it's just a minor surgery for meningitis. I can handle it.
Aiden,
I yelled angrily. Just wanted him to go back quickly to save my daughter. They separated immediately. How did you find me? Did you put a tracker in my car? Aiden questioned. I didn't dare to waste time, so I reached out to pull him. No time to explain. Our daughter had a car accident and is in the ICU. Only you can save her. He shook off my hand angrily. Claire, are you done yet? Why do you always think Maria and I are doing something wrong? I'm here to perform surgery on Maria's daughter. Claire, I understand you're jealous, but my daughter needs Aiden's help, Maria added pitifully. Tears streamed down my face. Aiden, you're choosing to save someone else's daughter over your own? Claire, Maria was my first love, but that's in the past. Now Maria's daughter has meningitis, and I came here to save her. You followed me and cursed my daughter. You are becoming more vicious, he said contemptuously. Aiden, our daughter is in the ICU. Come with me and see for yourself. I cried bitterly and my whole body was shaking with anxiety. Claire, I know you can't stand seeing us together, but my daughter needs Aiden for surgery. Don't be jealous now, Maria interrupted. Shut up. I slapped her. Claire, how dare you hit Maria? Aiden was furious and moved to hit me, but Maria stopped him. Aiden, you need to perform surgery soon. Don't get angry, Maria said calmly. It's almost time. I'll wait in the operating room. Aiden turned and left. I rushed forward and tried to hold Aiden, but Maria held me back. Aiden, please come back and save our daughter. I cried and called out, but he didn't even turn his head. My daughter really needs you to save her. Please come back with me. He disappeared from my sight. Grief-stricken, I cried until I fainted. Chapter 2. When I woke up, I found myself lying in a hospital bed. I walked out of the ward and soon saw Aiden in the ward across from mine. Mr. Stewart, thank you for performing the surgery on me, said Molly, Maria's daughter, lying in her hospital bed. Molly, from now on, you can call Mr. Stewart Godfather, Maria said with a smile. Godfather, Molly called sweetly. Be good. Aiden gently touched Molly's forehead. Take good care of yourself. Her daughter's surgery is complete. Can you go back with me? I said anxiously. Aiden, please stay for a few more days. If my daughter has any complications, I'll feel at ease knowing you're here, Maria pleaded, holding Aiden's hand tightly. The nurse nearby said, Don't worry, there won't be any complications. Then, in a low voice, she added, Your daughter just had meningitis. It wasn't a major surgery. Our doctors could have handled it. Why did you insist on bringing in a specialist? Aiden, her daughter's surgery is over. Why are you still here? Are you waiting until our daughter dies to regret it? I shouted angrily. I've never seen a mother like you. You said your daughter was dying just because of jealousy, Maria said, embarrassed. This is a hospital. Keep your voice down. Go back first. I'll be back in a few days, Aiden said coldly. Just then, my daughter's attending physician called. Ms. Johansson, please come to the hospital to see your daughter one last time. I quickly turned on the speakerphone and asked the physician to explain the situation to Aiden. It's amazing she even hired actors, Maria said sarcastically. Claire, I admire your acting skills. Get out of the ward. I don't want to see you, Aiden said with disgust. Aiden, remember, you are the one who killed our daughter. I rushed out of the hospital and drove to where my daughter was. When I arrived, she was already in the morgue. I didn't even get to see her one last time. Holding her cold body, I cried out in agony. I feel like my heart is broken. I took care of her funeral alone. Holding her urn, I still couldn't believe she was gone. She had scored 1570 on the SAT and was excited to go to her dream university. But now, she was gone forever. My daughter was so well-behaved and smart. Her life had just begun. I locked myself in her room, touching her things over and over, feeling overwhelmed with sadness and depression. 3 days later, Aiden called. Claire, my mother is holding a graduation banquet for Kathy in her hometown. You should arrive early tomorrow. I hugged my daughter's urn tightly and said through gritted teeth, Okay. Aiden and I met one hot summer. I had heat stroke and collapsed on the road. He happened to pass by, and as a medical student, he rescued me. Thus, we formed a bond. Afterward, we found that our hobbies were very similar, and we had more topics to talk about. After 2 years of dating, we got married. As a doctor, he was very busy. I worked and managed the household, so he wouldn't have to worry about anything. One day, I found an intimate photo of him and a girl in his wallet. When I asked about it, he said it was his first love, Maria. He watched my reaction nervously. Trying to be understanding, I said everyone has someone special from their past. He seemed touched by my reaction. After our daughter Kathy was born, he tore up that photo in front of me. Our family of 3 was happy until Maria divorced 3 years ago. That's when Aiden began to change. He started supporting Maria financially and giving her his time. Time is life, he often said. He lied about business trips and emergency surgeries to spend time with her in Harborview. He answered calls late at night and said it was an emergency surgery, but it was Maria who had a nightmare and wanted him to come over. The limited time he had for our family was now shared with Maria. I tolerated it, hoping he'd come back to us, but it only got worse. Finally, I decided I wouldn't tolerate it anymore. It was our daughter's birthday, and we were waiting for him to take us to Disneyland. When he didn't show up, I called him. He said he was at the hospital for an emergency and told us to go without him. Later, I checked his phone and found out he was with Maria on our daughter's birthday. Aiden, when I was cutting vegetables, I thought about our time together and accidentally cut my finger. Maria had texted, along with a photo of a small cut. I laughed bitterly. By the time Aiden arrived, it had already healed. Yet, he still left me and our daughter to be with Maria. I brought my daughter's urn to her hometown. During this party, I heard a lot of praise for my child from friends and relatives. Aiden, you're so lucky to have such a promising daughter. She scored 1570 on the exam and can easily choose a top university, said a relative. It's all in the genes. Aiden was an excellent student, so his children are bound to be excellent too. The Stewart family grows stronger with each generation. Kathy is so smart. Friends and relatives complimented him. Aiden looked very happy and proud. Will Kathy go to Harvard and Cambridge? Asked Aiden's cousin Benjamin. It depends on Kathy's choice. Both schools have extended offers to her, so she can pick whichever she prefers, Aiden said proudly. Why are you only here now? Didn't I tell you to come earlier? Aiden muttered angrily when he saw me. Where is our daughter? At that moment, I noticed Maria and her daughter were also there. Aiden, this is unbelievable. You even brought this woman to your mother's house, I said angrily. Claire, don't be petty. They're here to congratulate our daughter. You wouldn't embarrass me by not bringing her, would you? Aiden whispered, his face showing anger. Lydia, my mother-in-law, asked anxiously, Claire, why didn't my precious granddaughter come with you? Everyone's eyes were on me, wondering why I was alone. Claire, stop causing trouble or you'll face the consequences. Bring Kathy here immediately, Aiden demanded. I brought my daughter. Where is she? Aiden looked around. I took the urn out of my bag and placed it on the table. Here she I. Seeing I took out the cinerary casket, the originally noisy scene suddenly became quiet. Everyone stared at the urn in shock and contempt. Chapter 3. They thought I was making a cruel joke at our child's graduation party. They all believed so. Are you insane? Today is our daughter's graduation party, and you bring an urn to curse her? Are you fit to be a mother? Aiden yelled at me. Friends and relatives joined in blaming me. Lydia's face turned pale. Claire, are you dissatisfied with the graduation banquet I organized, or are you dissatisfied with me? You brought an urn here. Are you trying to piss me off to death? Aiden grabbed my wrist angrily. Where is our daughter? I told you, she's right here, I said, pointing to the urn. This is Kathy. Aiden slapped me in fury. Haven't you had enough? Lydia intervened, speaking gently. Claire, regardless of the issues between you and my son, don't quarrel today. Show some respect and stop causing trouble. I broke down in tears. Mom, this really is Kathy. Aiden, seething, called our daughter. Why is her phone off? Did you restrict her freedom and force her to act with you? I sent him 3 videos with trembling hands. Watch them yourself. The first video showed my daughter's critical illness notice and death certificate. The second video showed her in the morgue. The third video showed her being pushed into the crematorium incinerator. Seeing this, Aiden collapsed. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Kathy can't be dead. He called the hospital, and after confirming her death, he hugged the urn and cried uncontrollably. Relatives and friends watched the videos, their faces growing grim with grief. Lydia burst into tears, gripping my hand. Claire, what happened? Why did my precious granddaughter die? Aiden killed Kathy. I sobbed, recounting everything. Chapter 4. No matter what I said, he didn't believe me. He chose to perform a simple meningitis operation on his lover's daughter instead of saving our daughter. Hearing this, Lydia slapped Aiden. You bastard. You killed your daughter. Poor Kathy, her wonderful life cut short. I didn't believe Claire. I thought she was lying, Aiden admitted. It's not that you didn't think about it. You didn't care at all, I roared. No matter how much I begged, even fainting from crying, you ignored me. You believed Maria's lies meant to divide us. For 20 years, I've done everything for our family, supervised our daughter's studies, tolerated your affair with Maria, all to keep peace. Chapter 5. For our daughter's sake. But you didn't see my efforts, and now she's dead because of you. I cried, my heart breaking. Claire, I'm sorry. Sorry? Can my daughter come back to life? I asked. Aiden wept. Daughter, Daddy is so sorry. Please, God, bring her back. My daughter's spirit will never forgive you. Aiden slapped himself. Daughter, Dad was wrong, come back. Maria's daughter, Molly, approached. Godfather, don't be sad. My mom says now you can divorce and marry her. You can leave everything to me in your will. I'll care for you as my father. Aiden, in shock, pushed Molly to the ground. You go to hell. Distracted by a surgery for Maria's daughter, Aiden missed his last chance to save our daughter. Maria rushed to Molly's side. "Who are they?" Lydia asked. People watched them angrily. "They're Aiden's lover and her daughter. He performed surgery on his lover's daughter instead of saving his own," I said through gritted teeth. "Hit them." Friends and relatives couldn't bear it anymore and started punching and kicking Maria and her daughter. "Aiden, save us," Maria screamed. But Aiden, holding the urn, was lost in his grief, as if his soul had been ripped from his body. After returning home, Aiden stayed in our daughter's room all night. He wept incessantly, even banging his head against the wall in anguish. I also spent the night sleepless, my tears soaking the pillowcase. The next day, while sorting through our daughter's belongings, Aiden found the Father's Day gift she had prepared for him, a cervical massager with a card inside the box. The card read, "Dear Dad, I will be leaving home for college soon, so let this massager take the place of my hands to relieve your fatigue. While you are saving lives and healing the wounded, please also take care of your own health." Whenever Aiden came home tired, our daughter would happily put down her book, bring him slippers, and massage his shoulders. An operation could take several hours, often leaving his neck sore. I covered my face and sobbed. Aiden burst into tears, repeatedly confessing to our daughter. The bookcase was filled with certificates and trophies she had won since childhood, testaments to her excellence. Her desk was covered with various books and a family photo frame. In the photo, she smiled so brightly, a smile I could no longer see. Everything had become a memory. Unable to continue, Aiden took out his phone and watched videos of our daughter. "Dad, I will apply to the School of Medicine and become an outstanding doctor like you. You were my pride when I was little, and now I want to be your pride as I grow up," she said earnestly in one video, hugging Aiden. Chapter 6. As evening fell, the red sunset filled our daughter's room. I dragged my luggage to the living room. Aiden looked up at me in surprise. I put the divorce agreement on the table. "Call me if you have no issues with it after reading, and then we can go to the city hall to finalize the divorce," I said coldly. "No, I won't get a divorce. I absolutely won't." He rushed over and hugged me tightly. "Honey, I love you." I pushed him away in disgust. "Don't talk about love. It makes me sick. After the divorce, you can live with Maria forever. Isn't that what you always wanted? Believe me, I didn't cheat on you. It doesn't matter now. Claire, I've already lost our daughter. I can't lose you too. Please, give me a chance to change. I swear I will never contact Maria again." He blocked and deleted all contact information of Maria in front of me. "It's meaningless for you to block and delete her now. The moment our daughter died, I gave up on you. I know I was wrong. I didn't control myself before and didn't keep my distance from Maria, which made you feel betrayed. Please don't divorce me and don't leave me. You're the only one I have now." He knelt on the ground, begging bitterly for the first time in 20 years of marriage. "Our marriage has come to an end." "No, it's not the end. When we got married, we agreed to grow old together. Do you want to break your vows? When we got married, you promised not to make me sad and to treat me the same as before, but you broke my heart repeatedly because of Maria. You are the first to break your oath," I said, disappointed. "Our daughter is gone. If you leave me too, how can I live?" he said. Miserably. "You still have the nerve to say our daughter is gone. Why is she gone? It's all your fault. Whenever I see you, I think of your neglect towards her. You are the murderer who killed our daughter. How can I continue to live with a murderer?" I retorted, my voice filled with bitterness.
He didn't know how to reply.
As I dragged my suitcase away, he asked, "Where is our daughter's urn? Do you still have the nerve to face her ashes?" He grabbed his hair in shame and wept hysterically. I left the home that had given me everything. As I walked downstairs, I thought I heard my daughter calling me from behind. I turned around excitedly, but there was no one there. I squatted down, choking and sobbing uncontrollably. Chapter 7. A week later, Aiden and I divorced. After that, I quit my job. I took my daughter's urn to Gold Coast, Mount Fuji, and the prairie. These were the three places she had always dreamed of visiting. I had promised her that after her SAT results came out, I would take her to these destinations. On the Gold Coast, I watched the sunrise over the sea with my daughter. At Mount Fuji, we admired the sea of clouds from the mountaintop. On the prairie, we witnessed thousands of horses galloping. After fulfilling my daughter's wishes, I returned to my hometown of Maplewood and buried her in Maplewood Cemetery, which is surrounded by a maple forest. She loved the rustling sound of the wind blowing through the maple. She always liked a quiet environment. Coincidentally, Maplewood Cemetery was hiring a gravekeeper. Despite my impressive resume, the director was puzzled. With your qualifications, you should be applying to a listed company. I just want to work here. The director frowned and asked cautiously, "Do you have any ulterior motives?" "No, I just want to be near my daughter." After learning that my daughter was buried there, the director accepted me for the job. Every day, I cleaned her tombstone and removed the weeds around it. In my free time, I leaned against her tombstone and talked to her. Sometimes, I would cook a few of her favorite dishes and place them in front of the tombstone. Days turned into months, and half a year passed quickly. One day, Lydia called me, crying about Aiden's condition. After our divorce, he returned to work at the hospital, but his hands trembled so much that he couldn't hold the scalpel steadily. The psychological trauma had deeply affected him. He began seeing a psychiatrist, but nothing helped. Eventually, he took sick leave and returned home, where Lydia took care of him. He was consumed by remorse and pain, and soon, he began to lose touch with reality. Before long, he began to lose consciousness. "Claire, Aiden's mental state is worsening. For the sake of the years you were together, please come and comfort him," Lydia begged, sobbing. "I'm sorry, Lydia. I'm still grieving the loss of my daughter. I can't comfort him," I replied and hung up the phone. Chapter 8. Over the next 2 months, I received a message from Aiden. "Claire, see you at the entrance of the city hall at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. After registration, I will call you my wife. I will always love you." At around 10 p.m., he sent another message. "I will come to pick you up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning and take you back to our love nest." An hour later, another message arrived. "Honey, where are you? I brought you back home. Why are you not in the new house?" He seemed to be crazy. Lydia called me soon after. "Claire, Aiden has a serious mental problem. He thinks you're still in the honeymoon period. He's been going door to door looking for you. Please come back," she pleaded, crying. "I'm sorry, Lydia. I'm not a doctor, and I can't cure him even if I go back. Claire, Aiden really needs you now. Please come back. I took care of him for 20 years. Now that we re-divorced, I have no obligation to take care of him anymore. I am truly sorry. Can you bear to watch him become a madman?" From the moment Kathy left, I don't care whether Aiden is alive or dead, crazy or insane. It has nothing to do with me anymore. I hung up the phone. In the following days, Aiden's condition deteriorated further. He sent me messages every day and sometimes called me in the middle of the night. Eventually, I decisively blocked him. Chapter 9. 3 months later, I found Aiden standing in front of my daughter's tombstone. He looked nothing like the man he once was, hunched over, significantly thinner, with sunken eyes and gray hair. He resembled a terminally ill patient. "Claire," he stammered, and tears started to flow. In that moment, he seemed normal again. "How did you find this place?" I asked coldly. "Your mother took pity on me and told me where you were, where our daughter was," he replied. In front of my daughter's tombstone were her favorite dishes and a bouquet of baby's breath, symbolizing longing. "Now that you've seen it, you should go back," I said icily. "Let's reconcile. Without you, I live in hell every day." "Mr. Stewart, please mind your words. I am no longer your wife. Claire, I've been tormented this past year, repenting every day. Every time someone knocked on the door, I hoped it was you. You are the woman I love most in my life. Please give me another chance. Let's remarry. I swear I will never make you sad again," Aiden begged.
Bitterly.
What is lost will never come back, and what comes back will never be the same. From now on, there is no more us. Mr. Stewart, please go back and let us never see each other again in this life. Also, please don't come here again. My daughter is resting peacefully, and your presence brings back her painful memories. You abandoned her at a highway intersection and didn't save her at her last moment. With that, I turned and left. Behind me, he cried heart-wrenchingly. I didn't look back. He deserved sympathy. Half a year passed, and Aiden never showed up again. One day, it was raining heavily when I received a call from Lydia. "Claire, Aiden is dying. Please see him one last time," she pleaded. She told me Aiden had saved a girl on the road, but was hit by a car in the process, and the doctors said there was no hope for him. Claire, I love you so much. I miss you so much." Chapter 10. I heard his breathless voice over the phone. Finally, my heart softened, and I decided to see him for the last time. After more than a year, I returned to my old home with mixed feelings. Aiden was lying on the bed, his face covered with horrible stitches. "Claire, is that you? Or am I having a death hallucination?" Tears welled up in his swollen eyes. "Aiden, it's me." I sat next to him and said softly, "Claire, I saved my daughter and redeemed my mistakes." His consciousness wavered between clarity and confusion. "You didn't save your daughter. How is that possible?" "I thought I saved my daughter." "I told you you didn't save my daughter. She died more than a year ago." Although I knew he was dying, I still couldn't agree with him. "Didn't I save my daughter?" He cried sadly, his lips trembling. "Claire, I know I'm dying. Can you forgive me?" I couldn't say anything against my will, so I shook my head and said, "I won't forgive you." He wasn't surprised. "I really don't deserve to be forgiven. I had a happy family, but I destroyed it with my own hands. You know that. Claire, I beg you to do me a favor. When I die, bury me next to my daughter, okay?" "No," I said resolutely. He looked miserable and lost, gripping my hand with all his remaining strength. "Claire, I love you so much. I regret everything." Soon, he closed his eyes forever, going to another world with endless regrets. What people fear most is not death but regret. And all his regrets were well-deserved.